Hi everyone, this is Astro JoJo, and I want to share with you about the Lunisolar or Solar Lunar Chinese calendar, as it is now almost Chinese New Year. So I figured, as an astrologer, so why not the Chinese Lunar Calendar? So let me get you in and show you a little bit about the Chinese Lunar Calendar. What you see here, folks, it was designed 2,000 years ago. In the middle would be an observatorial view of the moon's path, centering the Earth in the middle and casting a light through a very specific hole that would allow an astronomer to follow the path of the moon. So what makes this calendar different than our Gregorian calendar? Well, just about everything. This is based on a 60-year cycle. So how do we base a calendar on a 60-year cycle? Well, not every culture believes in times the same way. And the Japanese or the Chinese calendar is built upon many different layers of culture, many different layers of elements that are believed to be what we call, or they have called, their way of recording time. First is an element. These are earthly elements. Could be the sun, metal, wood, water, types of water. Is all the way out here is an element. So these are the elements. And below the elements is a number significant to the month. This is the month cycle. So as you can see, this is winter, so January. This is the first months. So how cool is that? And then these are the degrees. So as an astrologer, we all know that these are the degrees. Now, what you're seeing is when the moon is ellipticizing, as you saw just a moment ago, it does not go in a straight pattern. It is an elliptical. And when it comes the closest at 1 degree, the Chinese astrologers knew that it was the actual end of the winter in the Western Hemisphere, which you can see right here. That is number one. Number one, two is spring. Oh yeah, this was designed in Tokyo. So this is how they keynote the beginning of the lunar calendar, which then begins another cyclical year in a 60-year cycle, based on the elements and the cultural beliefs of 2,000 years ago. So that's cool. And as we know it, this is our modern astrology. Now, the lunar calendar is pretty cool. I noticed that the planets tend to stack. They do this stacking effect. And so what I decided to do was, I thought for a second, wow, this is really cool. The planet, all the inner planets, we call these down here in Aquarius the inner planets. And then up here in Aries into Taurus, which would be Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, are the outer planets. And really what we're seeing is the sun is at the 21 degrees of Aquarius, soon to enter into Pisces in March, and then spring is in April, which we enter into Aries. Now, what I think is really significant about this is, based on the lunar cycle, the moon coming closest to the Earth, and all of the inner planets having a chance to conjunct with the moon gives us kind of like a recalibrating effect. And I want to say, in my opinion, in my spiritual kind of insight, is that this was something somehow sort of known to the Chinese astrologers, who thought of this elemental type of chart. So when it comes to this time of year, this densifying planetary conjunction wheel happens every single year. This is something I found out by doing this study, and I wanted to share. So have a look here, everyone. This is February 10th, 2024. 24. Now, the cool part, this is where it gets cool, is this is last year. So as you can see, the planets are almost identically in that same vein. The moon moving at 2 degrees is going to, this is on a full moon, so full moon, new moon, is still going to make it's going to make an opposition or a sextile. So it's still making a conjunction with all these planets in a very sequential role. Now, here is 2022. There's all of our planets and our moon at that point. 2021, 2025, 2026, 2027. Look at this. Every year we have the same kind of, as I said, densifying conjunction pattern. And I really think that this is the reason why there was significance brought to the use of this calendar, when these elements are the traditional kind of beliefs with the elements and all of Chinese culture coming together in how they consider the year is based off of bone throwing. So that now we're talking like the Tao Te Ching. This is extremely old beliefs that the earth was cyclical. And as we know, the earth is created of elements. And so the Chinese calendar has attempted to, I want to say, I don't know if I know the exact word. It's kind of like a divining, like a bing tuning forks. So they've attempted to tune in to the forks of the earth. And it's just an awesome, really scientific, astronomically beautiful representation of keeping time. And so I'd like to really thank the Chinese astrologers for giving us this great detail of an aspect, I mean, piles of aspects of the ways to look at astrology. And I'm grateful, as always, to be an astrologer and be able to tune into such unique patterns. Now I'm just going to pop into our year current so that I can give you a little about what it feels like. So that will be on the 10th is a very good view because that is the actual full new moon. And so what we have here on the new moon of the 10th is Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius making a conjunction with midheaven. So in the 12th in the 4th house. So this is like 4th house being the domestic space of Earth and our earthly duties, and 12 being like the more esoteric kind of kingdom. It's the bigger and the smaller, the surf and the majesty. And they're conjuncting, and that's always a good thing, especially in Libra. It's very balancing. And then also we have Jupiter, Saturn. I'm sorry, we have Saturn making a conjunction with Jupiter. So we've got two power planets making a conjunction in Taurus and Pisces, and Pluto in our midheaven. So if I want to just make a really quick emotional projection, I would say that this shows me power and patience, power and patience, power and patience. And I think that's a really nice tone if we want to say power and patience moving into the next year. Why not create a year full of power and strength? And why not be patient with manifesting things that we want? So I think I'm going to kind of just stop here, and I wanted to make it nice and short and sweet and just let everybody know that I'm going to be making a lot more videos. I'm going to be working hopefully with clients on life path, we'll call it life path transits. And I'm very excited to get more feedback as we go. So happy Chinese New Year, happy Lunar New Year. And thanks for watching on the Astro JoJo channel.